30, so I'd like to start by calling the meeting to order. It is Thursday, October 12th, 2023. Will each commissioner state their name?
This is Cynthia Batty, representing the Planning Commission.
Kara Hayward Olivas.
Lisa Doak.
We have a quorum. So we have a little bit of a pickle with the approval of minutes for the past, I think, 4 meetings. We don't have a quorum of commissioners who were present, so we're going to have to move the approval of minutes to the next time we get
I
together.
don't think you'll ever have everybody.
We won't, so I need to figure, yeah,
how to do
exactly,
it.
so
Yeah.
kind of work through that. But I'll still just make a motion to move the approval of minutes to the November 9th meeting. For the second,
Can I amend the motion to say, after discussion with the city lawyer?
certainly, so we will make a motion to move the approval of the minutes from the past 4 meetings, pending discussion with the city solicitor to the November 9th meeting.
One second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. So first up on the agenda, we have 27 The Strand. Brian DeSabatino replacing the first floor deck, building a second floor deck, spiral staircase, front door shutters, and paint. Is the applicant present? No. We can move on, I think. Should we move on to 143 Second Street in case they decided?
Trying to find the second one.
I know.
It's difficult. It's found some of 140. Oh, this is a little, is this part of 143 is still?
I believe, yeah, that at the back, those are the drawings.
Okay.
Okay, so we have 143 East Second Street, Carol Walter building a new porch on the back of the house. Hi, you can come on up or stay there, however you want to.
If you can hear me.
Yes, absolutely. Can you tell us a little bit about this project?
Sure. We have a 2-story house and it has a number of bay windows. On the rear of the house is a large bay window that was added after the original construction. That bay window is failing. It's sagging off the house. And so what we would like to do is to take that down and to remove the existing porch that's underneath it and replace it with a 2-story deck. The decks, both levels of the deck will be screened. There will be wood trim. Actually, my husband will fabricate the wood trim and it'll match the trim on the front of the house, the railings and that kind of thing. Rigo Flores company will be the contractor.
Right.
And the pictures of the front, I guess all the pictures are of the rear of your house, or did you provide?
Probably, we didn't, the contractor provided the pictures, so I'm not sure
Okay.
exactly what you have there. Oh, that's the rear. This is the rear.
That's the back of the house.
Yeah.
I thought I saw one.
So
in
did
front of it.
Oh, here we go. So this porch, is this just to explain what the back is gonna look like? Or so we're not doing anything to the,
No, we're not doing anything to the front.
because there was a picture of the front of your house and it,
That looks like the
Yeah.
front. The railing will be, you can't see much of the railing there. But
that's
the
probably-
railing will be similar to that.
Okay.
So in lieu of the bay window that you want to remove, so since you
But it-
do have a doorway there.
Yeah,
This is
wide
what they would.
French door, yes.
Uh, is it? Look it up on the map. Is it, can you see the back of the house from any place else?
You can't see it from Second Street, and there are trees and a fence behind the house, so you might be able to see a little of it, but it is kind of screened.
Not from a public right of way, from what I noticed, only if you went down the driveway of one of the other.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. There's a little plum alley that goes, and it's a house over. We're kind of in the middle of the block.
Yeah, I did walk by this residence and there's no visibility of the backyard at all, especially from the back of, the actual back of the house.
Yeah. Yeah, this, I just looked it up on maps. There's Plum Alley, Second Street.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I walked by earlier today.
So Layla had no comment about this one.
Not that I'm aware of.
It still has to go through code approval, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
We are just
Just design.
approving design materials.
Yeah, that's what we expected.
Yeah. So as far as materials, what will the roof of the structure be?
It'll be asphalt, the same asphalt shingles, which is on the main house in color. That's Mr. Suarez, who's our builder.
And the wood will be painted the same color brown as the rest of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of, very,
Ah, that didn't come across in these.
Is
No.
Is it a natural weathered? Is it painted or is it just? Okay, yeah, it almost looks like it's
the
weathered
shingles are,
naturally.
we recently had it repainted. We had a previous went through process before, but the shingles are stained. The reddish brownish trim is painted.
And so it'll be screened in,
Yes.
and then the door leading out. Is that a screen door that you'll be having? Will that be a wooden door or?
It'll be wooden.
Wooden door? Yeah, it's depicted as wooden here.
To go.
This is how it fits on the scale of the house.
I think this is.
It's okay.
Because, yeah, I don't see any issue with the materials or the design or anything, so.
No setback issues.
No
It's,
setback issues.
It's far enough from the back.
There is a
Parking lot.
yard, and then there's a group of garages.
Yeah,
But between the porch, so we will still have a yard.
Yeah, but you'll use the porch.
We're really looking forward to using the porch.
just to get away from the mosquitoes.
Okay,
Yeah, I think it's a really nice design. Okay, so I don't know that we need to amend anything in this, so I think we can make a motion to approve the design as is.
Great, thank you.
yeah,
All right, so I'd like to make a motion to approve the design materials presented in the application for 143 East Second Street. All in favor? A second. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved.
Great.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for this really well about design.
This is great. Put paperwork together.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
we'll enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
So what do you want to do about the?
I mean, I'm not sure. Whatever. That's
all the way up.
That's
Oh, yeah.
It's small.
Yeah, it would be on here. Yeah. See, one picture. Pretty good in the book.
We can't hear.
Oh, talking about it, but
So the only thing that we need
Thank
to. It says that,
here, give me a good one.
the only
You don't say what police you.
review, so 27 the Strand. Rebuilding the deck and adding a second floor with a spiral staircase as a modification requires approval. So you're saying that the application is incomplete. So then I think we're gonna have to postpone it. Yeah, we'll have
It's very
to.
frustrating, but yeah.
I do have another question for to review is if you look at the application
Mhm.
for hack. On shutters, it says paint only for
Okay.
approval. Which obviously
Which
we
we
know
don't.
we don't review
No,
paint
we
color
don't.
anyway.
No, they.
And I would much rather approve it for a paint color
Right,
if
then.
it's a restoration, but
then
in the
replacing
packet,
them.
in the packet, it has an order quote
Right.
for the actual replacement.
And if
of
you
the
look at the
shutters.
shutters and also the hardware in person, they look like they're in really good shape.
Yeah,
And I mean, that is,
minor slab repair.
right, but that is our first line of attack here, it's preservation rather than just replacing outright.
So without them being here, not knowing, like,
And
did
not
they
having-
amend their own quote? Like, maybe they decided after they saw the price on the quote that they would just paint them instead? But I mean, that's what the application says is paint only.
Mhm. Yeah.
So. That would be another.
What is materials Sapelli? That's what it says that they're made of. Jeff, do you know what Sapelli is? SAPELE. Thank God we have Google.
I know. But which one are you guys on?
We're on 27 the Strand.
Okay.
We're looking at, so we're a little confused because on the application, it says
Three or four.
Rear porch, so, okay, exterior doors.
It's mahogany. So they're made of mahogany.
Yeah, and that's all, front stuff can be tier one because it absolutely compliant. We did that a while
So
ago.
are they replacing this though?
Yeah, they're replacing that. Wood doesn't last forever, but if you're gonna use the good stuff, mahogany will last a lot longer than whatever was there.
So that is a hack guideline that you should go for replace or repair before
We all
replacement.
Try to get repair first. We lecture everybody until they yell at me, but if it's gone, it's, you know, if it's gone, it's gone, as long as you're using material that was available at the time it was built in the first place and you match it, then we sort of kept it historic fabric. The real problem with this one is the rear porch.
Right.
I mean, there's not enough information here. I guess the applicant's not here. There's not enough application, but Layla's little letter was, she's hoping that you can approve the concept of the rear porch and the steps, and then, and their location, and provide her with the ability to approve the actual details that are missing as a tier one applicant. That's entirely up to you.
So she's already approved the shutters on the front.
Yes. Well, it's all one thing, so. But you didn't approve the application, but the shutters are okay, the door is okay. The problem is, there's not enough information about that rear deck, about the way it looks. You can kind of see the stairway, and that's good enough, but the railing detail, the materials in the back, they're not all spec'd out for that. So the applicant, if he wants to try to do it this year, well, that's okay. You did provide pictures and showing the adjacent deck, didn't you?
I'm still not trying to beat a dead horse here, but I'm still about. There's a little confusion for me when we approve features like shutters and louvered doors and things to be replaced. And I see that the hardware, which appears to be in pretty good shape, is also being replaced. I mean, if those are original components of the building, personally, I would like to see those features retained.
Or maybe ask them to explain it.
But yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
curious. I just feel like that's absolutely, I mean, we all know living in these houses and having to deal with this. I'm just, doing, walking past and kind of looking at it, they appear to be in relatively
So can
good
we
shape.
get together a list of questions for them? Like, what is the reason for replacing the shutters?
Sure, I think that's a question for, I think those are questions that Jeff and Layla would go back with.
Okay. Do they go into the minutes or how do we do that?
Well, I think we could approve aspects of this, that's what she's asking, but with like pending certain, like we need more. She's saying we need, elevation section drawings, we need drawings showing the adjacent properties.
I think he kind of did. Showed what he wanted it to look like, but it wasn't very clear. Also, it's timber tech decking, which may or may not be appropriate in the rear of the house. You guys. Also, see, he brought in samples of it, and he brought in a vinyl lattice work he proposed,
No.
but he didn't get as much handholding as he was.
Jeff, I don't see Leila saying here, we could approve it in principle and then she would approve the details as a tier one. That's not what I'm seeing here in her
He
letter.
didn't write that down,
No,
because,
but she told you.
yes, and he said convey that, because that's what we've done before on some projects that, where you can, if you're, you could probably just deny it if you didn't think you should have a rear deck or a two-story deck.
The sort of stuff that they're already.
Then when it's down to the materials, that's fairly straightforward. It's just out of the book. The only thing I noticed is we've got TimberTech decking and
So they're
vinyl
replacing,
lid.
I just want to understand, it's replacing the deck and building a second floor.
Right, yeah.
deck on property.
Kind of the same as
The
the
previous one.
previous one was just an open deck, and now it's gonna turn into a screen porch with a screen porch above.
Yeah.
And then adding a spiral staircase to
Yeah.
connect the
Yeah.
two levels
Yeah, and then the spiral stair.
on this one.
So how far out is it gonna go? Is it gonna go out to the footprint of the
Existing mesh, existing deck.
Okay. Is the one that's there seems to go back further, so are they gonna enclose the second floor and turn that into living space?
Or is it just going to be extended all the way
Yeah.
out to here?
Yeah. That's a little bit unclear to me. And I agree with Leila, I mean, all these projects, we wanna help people, but if you can't see an elevation,
Right,
then we don't really know what's gonna happen, so
yeah.
we should ask them for an elevation. And the pictures sort of show the adjacent properties, but, 27th Strand, this wouldn't be one of those properties that you and I talked about related to that other problem that we were discussing, would it be? Is there a deed restriction on this property?
I think we were talking about 31.
Was it 31? Okay.
And then Cheskin in 31, and then Belford in 29, and then these folks at 27.
Okay, so it wouldn't be involved in that matter?
No,
Okay, good. All right.
Would the black metal railing be approved? As shown in this picture of the example.
Yeah, and also the railing, he's saying here what material the railing may be. I don't know if that's also TimberTech. I think so. Here's TimberTech.
Fortress 3-inch railing post.
If they were metal, would that be a problem?
Not sure, none of the other, it doesn't look like any of the surrounding. So as far as being viewed from the public right of way, I mean, this could be viewed from, I mean, would we consider it being viewed from the wharf? As being visible?
I think with that. Yes, you could see the back of it. The addition.
I don't think they're proposing anything that's not materials compliant.
No, I
Except
don't
maybe the
think so,
ladders.
it's just, I'm just trying to, okay, so.
So which house is it in here? Is it this one or is it this one?
I think it's this one here.
Okay.
What's the one from the green, from the?
Yes, this is in between. It doesn't look like it would materially impede views. Although, of course, people have a right to do what they want to do, so.
So. This white PVC trim board,
What?
white PVC trim board,
Yeah, no.
that's not a, that's a no.
PVC. PVC lattice. TimberTech's a composite, which you could approve.
But that's the deck surface, right?
Deck surface.
Yeah. Would it be appropriate to tell them that some of the things are approved, but they need to provide more information on other things?
And hopefully that Layla could approve for you if it's just immaterial on something.
I mean, it is a material change to the back of the building.
Yeah, well, yes.
The material change. So, I don't think it's an offensive change, but it is material, so.
I don't necessarily have a problem with, the timber tech on the back of the house, if it were on the front. I think that would be different.
Are they suggesting it goes on the front?
No.
Yeah,
I'm just making a
because
comment.
the thing that they're, doing on the front is gonna be mahogany, so.
Right.
And it doesn't get a lot better than mahogany.
So Layla is agreeing that there's no railing that would be wood. There's no confirmation that this would be wood when we were saying that
Yeah,
we didn't see where there was a material name on
yeah, I think,
the posts.
I think we need. I think we need more information,
I just think without the homeowner here to answer these questions, I don't even know how approving some of the plan would be helpful. Because some of the things that need clarification are major parts of the plan, like elevation and, I mean, we can request that they provide this information so it can be further reviewed. And note that we need clarification on the materials for the posts. And we can deny the vinyl lattice work.
in the PVC trim board, right?
And you wanted to ask a question about the shutters, why are they being replaced instead of refurbished?
I just need to have more clarity on, because from a visual inspection from the public right of way, they don't look deteriorated enough to scrap based on HAP guidelines.
I don't think we can do any more than this.
No. So. My question is, do we have to outright deny this application, or can we?
Well, if you're trying to dance a little bit, that you can approve the concept of the two-story porch,
Okay,
of the spiral stairs going in there, and of, perhaps even using timber tech flooring on the deck or whatever you want to do, and say the rest of it just doesn't have enough detail. Then you can consider whether you want to make them come back next month, or if you want to let Leila handle it.
See, look, Leila could probably do it. I think the challenge with approving a two-story deck addition without a drawing is that it could look very massive. And, you know, I think Leila could judge that. I mean, in principle, it's already a two-story deck, right? So, so just bringing it out that additional distance. You know, I think she's right. We need to look at it, but if Leila thinks it's okay, I think it's okay. Unless you guys disagree.
Can we approve it on the existing footprint and height of the current one, the current two-story deck on the house? And so that if they say that it's the same height, Leila can move forward with her part? Or do we want it to come back for review once we have those dimensions? Because I think that's Leila's biggest concern.
It's
is the view
it's the
shed.
blockiness of it.
yeah,
Right.
I think it should come back for review. Personally,
This is, by the way, there's 3 decks here. There's one on the top of the house too.
yeah,
I see that now.
Yes.
yeah, so would that be left, or would the railings be changed on that to match?
Don't know.
Okay. So then, are we okay with approving the concept of the two-story porch with the spiral staircase connecting to?
I don't think
Alright, so I'm gonna let's try to get everything in there, and
Okay.
you can correct me if I miss something. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the concept of the two-story porch with the spiral staircase connecting the 2 levels. I'd also like to approve the use of the timber tech decking material. And this is pending that we receive elevation and section drawings showing the 2 levels. Showing the drawings showing this in comparison with the adjacent properties. To determine the impact that it will have on those properties. We also need to know if the vertical posts will be wood.
And that we would not
And-
approve white PVC trim.
Yes, we are not approving the vinyl lattice, the PVC trim board. And we also would like to know why the louvered doors in the front and the hardware are being replaced and not refurbished as per HAC guidelines. Have I left anything else?
Yes, and to provide material sheets from the manufacturer for railing and staircase. The cut sheets.
There you go. And to provide the cut sheets, the materials from the manufacturer for the railings and staircase. Second.
Are we-
Second.
Oh, do we have to ask if she's got it or if she got it? You got it, okay.
All in favor? Aye.
Was the motion seconded?
Yeah,
I second the
Okay.
motion. Mhm.
Okay.
All in favor? Aye. Motion approved.
Okay,
Let's see, I think that is it. Are there any comments from the public pertaining to these two applications? Yep.
Hello, Cynthia, Sarah, and Lisa. I'm Brian Mattaway. I'd really like to thank you all for your service to this community, coming here after work for a long day, and you really contribute to the historical preservation and character of our city. I appreciate that. Question that I had was, I've been to the last couple meetings and I've watched some on Zoom, and it seems like there's a goodly number of applications, but yet only a couple actually make it and have representation. And I was just wondering if that seems to be the norm. And if so, if there's any reason or rationale to that, like, is it because of contractors not being able to get to?
Yeah, so the applications that you're seeing, that we don't discuss here, those are approved as a tier 1 basis. So tier 1 or applications that can be approved on a tier 1 base, they typically, they have to deal with replacing materials or just replacing aspects, doing sort of in-kind repairs. Those are things that Jeff and Layla, the architect for the city or consultant can approve in the office, so they don't have to come before the commission here. So applications that are reviewed as tier 2, they are required to come before the commission. So you're making changes or you're altering or building something new to the structure that we would need to review the materials, the design, and sort of the bulk of that.
Thank you for that.
Does that answer your question?
Thank you.
Perfect. Yes.
Hi, I'm Elmer Dale. I live at 120 The Strand. The reason I came to the meeting today is I saw the sign about the fence in Bull Hill Park.
Mhm.
So is that not gonna be discussed, or was that a tier 1? I was just curious about
Yeah, that's,
how the construction, it's right in front of my house, so I had to look at it all day, so. Just curious how it was gonna look.
yeah, that's actually a very good question.
And I think that the construction disruption isn't something that comes before hack, it would be a design. You know, whether we approve the design, and obviously since that didn't come in front of us, that means the design was within the purview of hack, so we would not be able to speak on like the implications to your property or your.
Or are you asking a question about the design? I
Oh,
think how it's going.
Well, so the sign you placed out there said it was gonna be steel bollocks, and I was like, what's a steel bollock? And I Googled steel bollock,
Oh,
and it showed these yellow posts. It was like,
That got bounced out, denied. They're back for resubmission for more historic bollards. Layla and I have been talking about that. We're hoping the bollards sort of mimic what they did, the bollards in front of town hall. That's up to the hack. They're they're a lot more money, but that's what they're gonna do with it.
well, I
They've
saw,
already been refused and they're coming back.
I'm like, it's still bollock.
Yeah.
How can that meet the
I
historic?
saw that in the application, and that was actually of notes I made before the meeting, that was a question.
So the fence posts are so ratty now and that,
Well, they
Yeah.
removed them.
well, they were just making a mess and people getting hurt on them.
I mean, I'm from all that. It looks nice without the fence, but the bad thing is, I see it all day. People they drive all the way out there.
Yeah.
They do drive on it and tear up the grass.
And that is a sticky subject of trying to keep the historic integrity of the park, but then also having the protection needed to keep people, because having worked in parks most of my career, I know that if it's just a plain wooden post, someone is going to come and knock it down. If they want to get in there, they're gonna get in there. And over time, and then maintenance upkeep is a lot too. So it is that happy medium of what's gonna be aesthetically pleasing, historically pleasing, but then also do the job of keeping people out as well.
What was there when I first moved in, as I moved in a couple of years ago, it looked like it was pretty old and I mean, that design looked like it was pretty good, just there was a couple of the posts that had rotted, but it was like these big wooden posts with a steel cable between them.
Yeah, it is nice looking. It's pretty.
So is that something that'll be approved as a tier one when the concepts come back?
If they come up with something that pleases Layla, she just called me up and was quite adamant. I said, it's okay with me.
Mhm.
But I think they're looking for something like in front of town halls. Don't want that, call me and. What else?
We'll go to the town hall and see what they have.
Yeah,
I just, right in front of my house, like I gotta look at it. My office is like, I look at that park all day, I work from home. So I just wanna make sure it's something that looks decently nice.
And we appreciate you coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need that feedback and we appreciate the citizen input for sure.
Thank you.
It's very helpful for us.
It absolutely is. Wish there were a little bit more of it. Okay, all right, so if there's nothing else, I'd like to make a motion to end the meeting. One second.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved.
Excuse me, sir.
the reason tried to make that change.
Excuse me. I didn't catch your first name.
Delmer, DELMAR.
And the last name was Dale.
Yeah.
The notes should be.
Yes.
Here's Jan.
What is this?
So it's, those are